You've been dabbling for a while. Now let's get serious. How do self-made millionaires scale up their income? Hi, I'm Douglas Kruger, author of best-selling books like Own Your Industry and Is Your Thinking Keeping You Poor? In non-corrupt, free market countries, where wealth is not earned via government cronyism, there are multiple ways to become wealthy. But most people choose stability over dramatic wealth. What if you don't? What if you are brave enough to zag when others zig? Here are 4 challenges you can take. 4 ways to radically reconfigure your thinking about how to generate wealth. Number 1. Take the copycat challenge. Who represents the highest incarnation of what you do? Don't make the mistake of thinking that a wealth-generating idea or business has to be completely original. Nothing works that way, and nothing is built from zero. Even the greatest artists learned their principles at the feet of the great artists who came before them. Michelangelo learned principles from Da Vinci before he surpassed him. In philosophy, Aristotle learned from Plato, who learned from Socrates. In fact, all civilization is about learning the underscoring principles that came before and then going further. Wealth is the same. It is actually arrogant to assume that every one of your principles should be a brand new discovery to humanity. It is humbler and more effective to study the best. So, who represents the highest incarnation of what you do? Who is the galactic superstar of your industry? What principles created their success? You can't steal their content, but you must master their principles. Not to do so is to choose poverty for lack of education. Take the copycat challenge. Discern and dissect. What makes that player the highest earner? How can you do that? Number 2. Take the one big handshake challenge. How much did you earn last year? Fix that number in your mind. Now imagine this. You are forbidden from doing all the small, cumulative, daily drips of work that, in total, tallied up to that amount. Instead, you must earn it all in one go. One deal, one single handshake that represents an entire annual income. How might you do that? What would you have to change about the thing you do or sell? Who might you have to sell it to instead, rather than who you have previously focused upon? Who has that level of wealth to buy it from you? And what kind of deal, sale, or offering would be worth it to them? What kind of customer do you need to justify such a large sum of money all in one go? Answering that question represents your current highest earning potential. Not to focus on your current highest earning potential is a choice to work harder, not smarter. Also, single deals are actually worth more than many small deals, even if the small deals add up to the same total. That is because a single large deal only entails a single instance of time or cost. The small ones represent many costs and much more time. Hence, one clear victory actually puts more money in your account. If it takes you 8 months to put together this one big deal, that's still worth it. So, what's your gold version? What's your premium version? Who is your whale of a customer, and why is it worth it to them? Number 3. Take the multiple baskets challenge. The lowest and most precarious form of wealth income is a salary. All of your eggs in a single basket. Then hand that basket to someone else and hope for the best. This basket, the job itself, cannot be bequeathed to your children. By contrast, a business can. A slight improvement on the single basket scenario is this: a salary plus some investments. They add safety and security, and they grow slowly and steadily over time. Still, they will rarely perform at the level of your own profit-generating machine, such as your own business. The next level up is ownership rather than salary. Done well, ownership leads to greater total amounts of income. You own the business and benefit personally from each sale made. But you can add further baskets. The next level up is multiple instances of a single wealth creator. Instead of just one outlet of your business, you open several. Each sale in each outlet makes you wealthier. This is the level at which most serious wealth is generated. Yet despite its broad-ranging network, this model still represents only one source of revenue times many instances. So what's the grandest level? That would be ownership of multiple differing sources of revenue, each of which have multiple outlets. Many different businesses, each with many different branches. You atop the network, benefiting from every single sale. Building such a structure represents the largest scale challenge faced by any wealth builder ever to have lived, and few will ever go this far. This is the Rockefeller recipe, and just a handful of people in the history of humanity have ever successfully done it. Yet here we are, thinking these thoughts and considering this formula. So why not dream for a moment? In principle, there is nothing stopping you from doing this. You don't have to have the skill for each business personally. You only have to aggregate the skill to set it up. Then you must retain ownership of that new collection of skills as it brings in wealth for you. It's an organization problem, not a skill problem. Let's approach it as a thought exercise now. How might somebody else, who did not necessarily have your limitations, seriously begin the project of creating multiple income sources with multiple points of sale and retaining ownership over all of it? What would be the first small step? You may surprise yourself by thinking up the beginning of an approach to the problem, ideally followed by the mental nudge, well, why not? For now, though, you do require the answer to the smallest part of this project, the initial wealth-generating mechanism, the beginning of increase via ownership of sales. How might you get that started this week? Number 4, take the point of sale challenge, then work backwards from there. In free nations that practice free trade, all honest wealth building scenarios begin with a point of sale. Until a sale is made, no business, no investment, no artistic endeavor, and no service actually makes money. Sales are everything. It is only at the point of sale that wealth is made. Even if you work for a salary, that business has to make sales, otherwise you don't get paid. So here is how you can be smarter about this than most. Start with point of sale. Start with that moment in which somebody or some business buys something from you. What does that look like in your world? What makes it work? Why would they seek out such an offer? And what would persuade them to go ahead with it and hand over their money? Can you answer the simple questions, what is worth it to them? What do they want or need? And what would be the best way in which they might acquire it? That moment when they buy is the heart and soul of all wealth generation. Point of sale is everything. So start there and build your entire business backward from that point. Don't start by thinking, how can I build a business where I live? Instead ask, where are there the most buyers? Could I go build a business there? Don't start by thinking, how will I get office space? You might not need office space. Instead ask, how does that market want to go about the buying process? If I were that person making that decision today, what would make me buy? Then build your offer accordingly. Start with them. Start with their need, their want, their moment of purchase, and work backwards. Not only is this a better way to serve humanity, but it will make you more prosperous. Whether you're an aspiring author, start by asking what publishing houses buy and why. Or whether you plan to launch a global multinational corporation, make point of sale easy, compelling, and attractive. Make it desirable. Then construct your entire offering, your business, your wealth-generating enterprise backwards from that point, because only at that point is wealth generated. I'm Douglas Kruger, author of Poverty Proof, Is Your Thinking Keeping You Poor? And the upcoming new title, How to Grow Rich, 50 Ways to Debunk Money Myths and Master Wealth. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. And if you know an entrepreneur who is struggling to think big enough to truly master prosperity, please do share this with them. Poverty is a dark ages problem. Let's solve it